Isabella had always been a dreamer, her heart a mosaic of hopes and vibrant fantasies of being swept off her feet by a knight in shiny armor. She has never had a serious relationship. Her idea of a healthy relationship is what she saw with her mother and father, Susan and Frank. Her mother was a middle school teacher and her father worked in finance. Frank adored Susan. She was the love of his life. Isabella grew up in a house filled with love and respect, a home where everyone was emotionally available for each other. Her last relationship, if you consider seeing someone for 3 weeks a relationship, was brief. That relationship or situation ended because it became very apparent that Jeff only wanted one thing from Isabella. Shortly after ending the situation with Jeff, Isabella was invited to her best friend's art exhibition. She wasn't going to attend at first, but at the last minute, she changed her mind. But Isabella's decision to attend her friend's art gallery led to something completely unexpected. At the art gallery, Isabella meets up with her best friend Samantha. "I'm so glad you could make it," Sam said. "I wouldn't miss it for the world," Isabella replied. Sam starts touring Isabella around the art gallery until Sam is suddenly pulled away by a client who wants to purchase one of her art pieces. "I'm so sorry, Issy. I need to talk with a client. Daniel, my curator, will show you the rest of the gallery. We'll catch up later?" Samantha asked. "Sure, no problem," Isabella replied. When Isabella met Daniel, she felt an electric connection. Daniel was handsome and charming, with a disarming smile and a mysterious aura that pulled her in like a moth to a flame. Needless to say, they quickly started dating and began building a relationship. Their conversations flowed effortlessly. When they were together, hours felt like minutes. Isabella could spend all day with Daniel, and for the first time in a long while, Isabella felt she had found someone who truly understood her. However, as the months passed, the initial euphoria began to wane. Daniel's messages became sporadic, his promises often empty. He would vanish for days, only to reappear with heartfelt apologies and grand gestures that made Isabella's heart swell with renewed hope. His excuses were always plausible: work, family issues, personal struggles, and Isabella, ever the optimist, gave him the benefit of the doubt each time. Despite her best efforts to break through his emotional walls, Daniel remained an enigma. He avoided deep conversations about their future, often changing the subject or withdrawing altogether. When Isabella tried to express her feelings, he would respond with a detached, almost clinical rationality that left her feeling misunderstood and dismissed. One rainy evening, after another canceled date and an unreturned phone call, Isabella found herself standing on Daniel's doorstep. She was drenched, her mascara running, but her resolve unwavering. She knocked, and after a moment that felt like an eternity, Daniel opened the door. He looked surprised to see her, a flicker of guilt crossing his face. "Isabella, what are you doing here?" he asked, his voice calm and measured. "I needed to see you," she replied, her voice trembling. "We need to talk." They sat in his living room, the silence heavy between them. Isabella took a deep breath, gathering her courage. "Daniel, I can't keep doing this. I need to know where we stand. Are you with me or are you not?" Daniel looked away, his expression unreadable. "Isabella, I've told you before, I'm not good at this. Relationships, commitment, it's not my thing." Isabella's heart broke at his words, but she pressed on. "Then why did you string me along for so long? Why didn't you just let me go?" Daniel's eyes met hers, and for the first time, she saw a glimpse of the vulnerability he kept so well hidden. "Because I care about you, Isabella. I just don't know how to be what you need." Tears streamed down Isabella's face as she realized the truth she had been denying for so long. Daniel was emotionally unavailable, incapable of giving her the love and stability she craved. She stood up, her decision clear. "I deserve better, Daniel. I deserve someone who is willing to fight for me, who isn't afraid to love me fully." As she walked away, leaving Daniel and the year and a half of heartache behind, Isabella felt a strange sense of liberation. The road ahead was uncertain, but she knew she was stronger for having faced the truth. She would heal, and one day she would find the love she deserved. Daniel watched her go, a silent regret settling in his chest. For the first time, he realized that in trying to protect himself, he had lost something precious. But it was too late. Isabella was gone, and with her the chance for something real and beautiful. But Could Isabella have known Daniel was emotionally unavailable before she wasted a year and a half? Yes, she could have, if she knew what to look for. First, Isabella could have spent more time getting to know Daniel. She should have asked more questions about his previous relationships, like how long his previous relationships lasted and why they ended. If all Daniel's relationships lasted just a few months, that would be an indication that Daniel may not be into a serious relationship or he isn't emotionally available. Second, Daniel had a hard time talking about his feelings and emotions. He kept his vulnerabilities hidden from Isabella, maybe out of fear of being judged or seen as weak. But for whatever reason, when someone refuses to be vulnerable, it makes it difficult to develop a deep connection in a relationship. It's during the vulnerable times when bonds are strengthened within relationships. And third, Daniel avoided tough conversations. Whenever Isabella asked him where she stood, he either didn't give her an answer or he would change the subject. People that are emotionally unavailable only discuss things on a superficial level. It's hard for them to have deep conversations about deep topics. They're comfortable being detached. So, if Isabella had recognized these red flags sooner, she could have saved herself some time and broke things off with Daniel a lot sooner. But hindsight is 2020. What's important is that Isabella finally ended things with Daniel and learned about herself and learned more about what she wants in a future mate as a result of this experience.